Welcome to Digits. I'm Simon Constable. We are witnessing the cableization of the internet. That's what Farhad Manjoo says. It's all on the basis of a federal court which has ruled against the so-called open internet rules. But what's the long-term impact on consumers and tech companies? Well, Farhad Manjoo's here and he's going to explain it all to us right now. Farhad, thank you very much for being there.
Thanks.
Okay, so tell us, what you say we're witnessing the cableization of the internet. You mean something quite specific by this. Explain what?
Yeah, I mean, when we're all familiar with when you're shopping for cable TV, a cable system. Basically, what you do is you have to choose a tier of channels that you want, and you pay different amounts for depending on how many channels or which channels you want. That's something like what's going to happen with the internet, kind of in the absence of these network neutrality rules. So right now, when we choose an internet line, we basically just choose on speed, right? Or if you're choosing a wireless line, you might choose, based on sort of how many megabytes you're allowed to download in a month. But if you choose one of those plans, you're allowed to download kind of any content that fits there. You're allowed to kind of access anything online. As long as it works on your speed. The difference now is that cable companies, internet providers will be able to charge you different amounts based on the content that you look at. So AT&T, for example, is exploring a plan where companies like Netflix might pay AT&T to sponsor your internet line so that you would get access to Netflix on your system, and that when you watch Netflix videos, it wouldn't count against your data cap. So essentially, you might buy the Netflix bundle from your cable system and pay for, and Netflix would sort of pay for you to get that, get that plan on your system.
Netflix isn't chosen randomly there because at certain peak periods, Netflix does take a lot of the bandwidth, if you like, away from things. But the example you're using about Google, Netflix, and Amazon, each of which have video bits to them. Netflix, it's all of it, but Google and Amazon both have video bits. That would really alter the playing field quite a lot, wouldn't it? Is this a good thing, do you think?
It sort of depends on, there are fierce advocates and proponents, and critics of these rules. And so, both sides sort of have various arguments on it. I mean, you could say that on the one hand, this might be better for some consumers. If you, only want to watch videos from a certain number of big internet companies, and those internet companies are agreeing to pay for some part of your line, this may be fine for you. The problem really is, in the long run, that you can see how this might limit innovation on the internet, because while Netflix might be able to pay AT&T for part of your line, the next Netflix, sort of the competitor to Netflix or Facebook or any other startup, doesn't really have those funds to pay for part of your internet line. And so when you use those startup services, if that counts against your monthly data cap, you're going to be less likely to use those services. So it really helps to kind of maintain the status quo online and, limits the kind of innovation and experimentation we've seen on the internet.
Okay, well, we shall see what happens. Thank you very much, Farhad Manjoo of the Wall Street Journal. We appreciate your time. And that's it. That's Digits for now.